In this lesson, we are going to complete the functionality for editing a bookmark in eggly. We're going to start with the bookmarks model, add in the business logic, and then make that available to the bookmark edit controller, and then update the template. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a convenience function called find bookmark. That accepts a bookmark ID. And we are going to return the results of a lodash method call. We're going to compare the bookmark ID in the iterator to the bookmark ID that we're passing in as a parameter. If it matches, then it will return that bookmark object. And then what we're going to do is make this available by creating a method called getBookmark by ID that takes a bookmark ID parameter and then returns the appropriate bookmark as it is called from the controller. But before we get started, we're actually going to resolve this with a promise. And so we'll inject the queue service into the bookmarks model, and then from here we're going to create a deferred object, and then I like to go ahead and just finish the return statement right when I started because the pattern is always the same by returning the deferred.promise object. And this then frees me up to just figure out how I'm going to resolve it in between these two lines. And so from here, we're going to say if bookmarks exist, then this is fairly easy. We just have to call deferred.resolve, find bookmark, and then pass in the bookmark ID. If the bookmarks do not exist, then we need to make that method call or make the method call to get the bookmarks and then find the appropriate bookmark from the collection that is returned. So from here, we will call model.getBookmarks, and then in the callback method, we are going to deferred.resolve, and then we would just resolve it like we did above. Okay, and so this is how we can get the bookmark by ID and then make sure that we always have a bookmarks collection. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy this and let's hop into the getBookmarks method. Every time we call getBookmarks, we're calling the HTTP service and refreshing the bookmarks collection. Well, now that we're editing a specific bookmark, we do not want to overwrite those changes. So let's go ahead and replace this with a call that allows us to cache this. So if bookmarks exist, we're just going to resolve it with the existing bookmarks. If not, then we're just going to make the http.get call, and then from here we'll take the result and we will resolve it with a cached version of the bookmarks. Okay, let's do one other thing real quick. We have the create bookmark method in place from the previous video. Let's go ahead and create an update bookmark method. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to get the index of the bookmark that we're dealing with. So again, we're simulating a backend in memory. So this is purely for example purposes. And this is actually taking a single bookmark argument. And then now that we have the index, we can just say, at this index within bookmarks, go ahead and replace it with this new object. So this is just for example purposes, but it will allow us to edit the bookmark object in memory. And so now that we have completed the bookmarks model by introducing the find bookmark method, get bookmark by ID, we've updated get bookmarks to actually use a cache version of the bookmarks, and then we've introduced this update bookmark method, let's hop into the bookmark edit controller and build this out before we update the template. So the first thing we're going to need is to inject some services. So we'll go with the state service, state params, and the bookmarks model. And then we'll create a top-level reference to this just as a force of habit. And then let us start to build out the methods that we need for this controller. So the first one that we need is a method to return to bookmarks. And so this is exactly like we saw in the create bookmark controller. We are going to go to eggly categories bookmarks, and we are going to pass in a category param and then from here let's create a method to actually call the return to bookmarks that is a little more descriptive, called cancel editing. And all this does is calls return to bookmarks. This just reads a little better in the view. And then now let us get down to the star of the show, the update bookmarks method. Okay, now it's time for us to actually create a method to update the bookmark. But before I do that, I want to actually build out the method that we're calling to actually get the bookmark that we're editing. So we'll go bookmarks model, get bookmark by ID, and we're going to call state params pass in the bookmark ID, and when this resolves, we're going to take the bookmark that it is returning, and if the bookmark does indeed exist, so you could put in any ID and possibly nothing could exist, then we're going to do something. If not, we'll just go ahead and return to bookmarks. There's no point in going any further. But if the bookmark does exist, we are going to create a reference to that and call this bookmark. And what I'm also going to do is I like to create a copy of that we're actually going to be editing. So if you edit a object directly in memory, there's no way to back out of it. But by creating a copy, such as a property called edit bookmark or edited bookmark, we can make all the changes we want to edited bookmark, and then when we're done, we just copy it back to the bookmark reference. So this is a way to make edits and have it not be so destructive. Okay, so now that we've actually gotten the bookmark and we've created this bookmark reference and this edited bookmark, then we can create a method to actually update the bookmark. And so we're going to create a method called update bookmark, and from here we are going to copy the edited bookmark back to the bookmark. So using Angular copy again, we're going to create a copy of that and assign it to bookmark. Then we're going to call bookmarks model update bookmark and pass in the edited bookmark. And from there, we are ready to return to bookmarks. Now we just need to make these methods available on our controller. So we will create a method for cancel editing and do the same for update bookmark. Okay, and so now we have not only built out the model, but we have built out the controller. Let's go ahead and update the template appropriately. So from here we're displaying the edited bookmark, but let's go ahead and just show the bookmark so we can see which one we are editing. We'll update this to point to the controller appropriately because we're using controller as syntax. And then you can see that we're editing the edited bookmark by binding to it in ngModel here. And so let's go ahead and do one other thing real quick. In the bookmarks template, I have this ng class that sets this active class if it is the right bookmark. This is no longer necessary because we are actually going into a specific state, so it's pretty obvious what bookmark we're actually editing. So let me hop into the browser and let's see this in action. So I'll go ahead. We're going to edit this. AngularJS for the win, and we'll click Save. And so you can see here that it saved it. We can go here. You can see right here. We'll go back. We'll go here, and you can see it is persisting in the bookmarks collection. So this covers the edit bookmark functionality. Stay tuned for the next lesson where we will learn how to add in the delete bookmark functionality. See you soon.